guys, and welcome back to the Virtual Reality Show, where we talk about any and all things related to virtual reality inside virtual reality. I'm your host, Fia. A little while ago, I got an email in my inbox from VictoryXR Academy, where classes are taught inside of VR. Already, this is something that I've been thinking about. VR school. I'm sure you're quite curious, just like I was, about what it means to have education inside of VR. The possibilities of what can happen in VR are already limitless, and I can't help but imagine how incredible it would be to raise a future generation with the ability to literally integrate themselves into their education. What a wonderful way to make learning more effective and fun. VictoryXR Academy is trying to do just that, so I decided to take a tour of their virtual campus, ask them a few questions, and see for myself what this is all about. I could tell right off the bat they were pretty excited for me to be there because my tour guides had a huge TVRS logo on display just for me in my private tour. And after talking to Danny, Renee, and Ty, I learned that just like me, they're extremely passionate about what they're doing for VR. The tour I was going to take walked through the types of classes that are offered and demonstrated the amazing things that VR school can do that real school cannot. So I guess first off, what is this is like the goal of your school here? Like what are you guys like trying to have like a complete school on your own, or is it more so trying to help other like classroom like assistants and whatnot?
So there's actually a couple focuses. So one would be the one-to-one learning for like homeschool students, or like in the case of like Wendy, where she teaches a class or a Spanish class where people can sign up, take a couple classes. They can come in and watch the pre-recorded classes. The other would be for teachers to be able to teach an entire session. So like with COVID, they could bring 20 students into a classroom, go through a lesson, and teach that way.
On the first part of our tour, we were given a presentation. Oh, great, a school presentation, you might think, but no. This presentation was alive and literally came out of the screen like a 3D movie. Moving objects and lights that match the screen made me imagine going to a lecture that isn't a boring PowerPoint to snooze through, but an involved experience that throws you into the subject itself. The tour was off to an intriguing start.
Universities are having a very hard time justifying $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year tuitions if kids are just looking at a Zoom screen. And so this again is a great viable alternative that is so next level to Zoom, as you can see, and you're already aware.
We then teleported into a science lab where there was a pre-recorded lecture that showed off a human heart. This was way more engaging than a regular pre-recorded lecture that I would have had in a college class when the professor missed class. It wasn't boring, but it felt so real in a classroom environment, and the 3D hearts were able to be manipulated so that we could examine them close up without the need for an actual human heart. This is a fantastic solution for biology classes that reduces the need for things like frogs to dissect, when you can spare little froggies' lives by dissecting virtual ones. If I was a teacher who was interested in doing this, or, maybe a school that wanted to pick it up, how would I get involved? And then same question from a student perspective, if I was a student and I wanted to come, attend classes here, how would I, be able to do something like that?
So if teachers want to create their own lesson plans for the academy, they log on to vxr.academy. They can browse through the different classroom spaces and the different 3D objects and say, okay, if I'm teaching an anatomy lesson, but I'm doing specifically the circulatory system, I want the esophagus, I want the heart, and I want the diaphragm. And if there are not assets that I've already uploaded to the database, then I make sure they're uploaded and then accessible to all of our subscribers.
We next had class in space. We literally were floating in spacesuits, viewing the solar system with massive galaxies looming in the distance to watch over us. Then, Danny spawned in a 1 by 1 by 1 meter Earth and then showed us an actual size comparison scaled to other planets such as Jupiter. I've done plenty of styrofoam ball comparisons in middle school, but being up close to an accurate representation of planets in VR is pretty indescribable. I can't even represent it well with this footage because you really have to be in the experience to understand what the scale genuinely feels like. It was pretty damn cool. Next, we went to an art class where classic paintings such as Starry Night were displayed, but no longer was it a flat print like a poster nor a picture on the internet. This painting had real texture and brushstrokes. You could see the shine change with the light source and the details of what the painting would actually be like in real life.
We don't beat around the bush because we know that with VR, you can't just watch a video. You can't just watch a YouTube video. You can't look at a Zoom call. You have to be in it. You have to be in it and experience it in order to get what VR is and why what we're doing is important.
Mhm.
So if someone hasn't done VR and they're curious about it, I would say, then get your hands on a headset in whatever way you can and join us. Simple as that.
We also went to a museum where you can listen to pre-recorded audio tours along with seeing three-dimensional artifacts up close inside a snapshot of ancient Egypt. Then we traveled to the Pyramid of the Moon inside Mexico, where they teach Spanish. In the real pyramid, you can only travel to one of the floors, but here, you can explore every part of it during class. It's a great way to explore places where it wouldn't be possible in real life. Oh, and remember the Magic School Bus? I loved that show as a kid and always wished I could go on adventures rather than sitting with a boring textbook. In VictoryXR, the school bus can take you on virtual field trips to places like the Great Wall of China. What better way to learn and explore history than by being there yourself? VR makes travel easy and affordable and hella beats looking at a photo or video of any kind of landmark. We visited virtual math class and the virtual auditorium, and then, finally, I got the chance to ask them all my burning questions about VR school. Do you guys have any kind of time frame idea of when you'd like to kind of accomplish something like that? Like how far out in the future do you guys think that this whole VR school idea will really start picking up?
So in regards to just the VR market in general, part of it is getting ourselves known, which is partially why I wanted you guys to see this today because we need teachers and we need students. We're doing a pretty good job of getting teachers interested, but the VR general market doesn't really know about us yet.
So then, yeah, I guess my next question is about how many people are currently using your program, like students and teachers, like on a typical like given day. Like what's the in and out like right now?
I was gonna say we have over 40,000 downloads on that, and it's growing each day. We have schools that choose just to use certain units out of it. So, for example, there's a veterinary science program at a high school here in Iowa that purchased it, all 6 dissection units. Frog dissection, as Danny just poured it in, is one of them.
So do you guys think at certain points in time then people will be able to take say like a biology class completely in VR and still get like college credit for something like that? Is that something that would be within the realm of possibility?
Yes, it's not there yet. Because there are still studies, people need to build their VR stamina. Gamers certainly have sometimes Danny and I, when we were working on the art exhibit, after an hour and a half, that's about the max for me personally being in a headset. So, you need to build that stamina. And so classes of students will also need to do that and teachers as well. I don't know how far into the future, probably not too far.
The other big question that I wanted to ask too is specifically about approachability, because I feel like a lot of people would see this, and even if they thought like, oh, this is a cool idea, like, I would love as a teacher to, bring VR into the classroom, or I would love as a kid, but, they might say, oh, I don't have a VR headset. I don't know anything about VR. And what would you say to people who are super like, who would, aren't necessarily like gamers and don't have any familiarity with VR already?
We're in conversations with Morehouse College, who are really interested in working with us and teaching in the academy, and we've sent off just 5 or so Oculus Quests, and we said, "Hey, are you interested? Then just take one of our headsets and come and do a tour already."
No, that's awesome. And if people were interested in doing like a tour, kind of like we're doing today, how would they be able to get in contact and do something like that?
Well, so if you go to VictoryXR.com, there is a campus tour tab there, and you can register for any one of our upcoming public events. We do public tours of the Academy, very similar to what you guys experienced today, every couple weeks or so, and we're always churning out new ones. And we're always switching up how we conduct the tours because we're continuously adding more and more classroom spaces. So the tours always get switched up. So even if you'd been on a tour a month ago, we encourage people to come back because there are going to be new classroom spaces to see.
The people who are engaging and trying to innovate within a VR space, you have to be really passionate about it. It's something that you have to actually care about, and that's what makes something like this so exciting. Is because I can tell, like, talking to like every one of you guys, that you all really believe in the vision and really believe in like the passion of using VR as an education system, which I'm totally on board with. That's something that I've been thinking, since I ever got a VR headset, was like, man, like I wish I could go to school with this thing on. Like I would much rather learn, because that's how like more my learning style is I have to do things to like really understand them. Like I don't really sit well and just absorb information, or somebody can't just tell me things or draw something on the board. Like I have to like touch it and hold it and do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is totally catering to that, and it makes it more fun in general. And so for me, like this is a dream come true. Like I wish I would have had this back in like high school or when I was still in college classes, stuff like that. No, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you specifically, Fia. I saw your content, like, she understands that VR as a technology has so many implications and uses beyond just gaming. How it relates to like helping people with social anxiety, how it relates to people's actual sense of touch, like your Phantom Sense episode. That was fantastic.
Mhm.
So I thought, I gotta reach out because this is the exact philosophy that we're trying to get across. Like being in VR is it's the future. Like it's not going away. It's not a fad.
Mm-mm.
It used to be like the Virtual Boy. Just we weren't there yet.
Mm.
But VR has always been coming, and it's here, and it's not going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
And it's changing how a lot of people interact with the world and how people interact with one another.
Talking to VictoryXR Academy staff was a real pleasure, and hearing Danny's passion was incredibly refreshing and reminded me exactly why all of us believe in the power of VR so much. It's the future, and it's not going anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the Virtual Reality Show channel. I'm currently in the works of building a TVRS studio world for VR chat, where I'll be able to hold interviews just like these, and anyone who joins the virtual VIP tier over on my Patreon page from now until the completion of the world will get their name inside of it permanently. You can also join any tier on my Patreon to further support me, but you could also follow me over on Twitch, where I'll be going live right after this video uploads. Anyways, I've been your host, Fia, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Special thanks to this month's Patreon members and virtual VIPs, Dutech, Flukele, Private Donuts, Scoremaler, and Top Waffle. Can we talk to him? He's got a big nose. Ha!
Does she get... Okay,
Alright, come over here.
come over to me.
Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Virtual Reality Show. Ah!